Alright, Willie here from Counseling Wise, talking about contact pages, how to create contact pages and what they should consist of. I will walk through WordPress and Squarespace examples of creating contact pages. I will use the Counseling Wise contact info for the contact page I'll be creating. I will start with Squarespace to begin with. So you're going to want to create a new page and call it the contact page. Once you have created that, then you just want to do the typical setup of the title of the page, center it. And then what we typically do is start off with just typical contact information, the address, phone number. We do not recommend putting the email on the contact page because that leaves you vulnerable to spam, to getting your email taken and used maliciously for just getting spammed by bots and by companies that just flood your emails with offerings, and it's unnecessary. So don't put your email on there. What you can do is link your contact form to your email, which is a good workaround. But typically start with just plugging in the typical contact information, address, phone number, what we typically do is add in a contact form. Squarespace, it's going to be here. You can plug in whichever information that you want. Typically name, email address, subject, and message is a good start. That's usually nothing else really needed unless there's something specific. You can store it. Press storage on the form and then plug in your email address that you know you want the emails to be sent to, and then just click connect. It should work. No other details you really need to change. Plug in my information since there's something in there. Apply. I like to style it so that it's on the side. So that it kind of evens it out a little bit more. In addition to the form, we'll get to the maps later, but we do like to include a little more information than just the address and the phone number. We think it is beneficial to plug in a little more detail on the location and details of what is surrounding the location, so that there's some basic landmarks for people to understand where you're located at, and for Google to understand where you're located at. It's just easier from user's perspective and for Google's crawling your website if you place in more landmarks and more details on cities and surrounding areas and towns that you're located by. So that's a small disclaimer on what else you should add in. For example, on this website, there are some details on where they are located. So they're dedicated to practicing in cities of Cary, North Carolina. They can be located to these 5-6 cities. It's really important to plug that in there. The additional piece of information that can be good if people are willing to plug it in on their website is directions from different areas. For example, on this website, there's 2 different examples from coming from different ways from different freeways, and detailed directions on where to go exactly. This is very beneficial for a contact page, not only for Google, but just for people to understand how to best get there and where to go to get to your location. So this is where I would plug in those paragraphs, that information. The final thing to add on your contact page is your Google My Business Maps. So hopefully you have plugged in your information and registered your business with Google My Business. So you basically just create an account in Google for your company, for your business. What happens after that is verified is you get this on the right side. You are in Google system as a business, such as Counseling Wise. So what you want to do is you want to link this company on Google to your company website. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the maps after you search and get on your company on Google. So we are on Counseling Wise on the maps. What you want to do is click share, embed a map, and then just copy and paste this code right here. Go to Squarespace. You're going to want to add all the way down to add a coding block, and everything. Copy and paste that. Click apply, and then you just need to style it, adjust the sizing and the formatting so that it fits properly. I need to work on my, just update this really quickly so that it fits. This was being a little difficult. Animation form, and then the map. So it's good not only to give users the reference for where you're located at, more importantly, Google likes the connection of you using their maps on your website. It's just it connects the two, and it makes it a lot more seamless with Google crawling your website. So that's what you're going to want on your website is a form, contact information, details about landmarks and where you're located by, not just the exact address, but different areas and towns that you are located by, that you service, that you work with, and then directions, if you've included detailed directions on how people can get to where you work, where your practice is located at, the form, and then the Google My Business map. That is basically all you need to do. That was a detailed discussion on what content page should include, as well as how to set it up on Squarespace site. Now, for WordPress, it's very similar. All you have to do is just create a new page, title it contact, and in the visual editing of the contact page, you're just going to want to plug in all the same information. Contact information, address, phone. It's going to be a very similar process for plugging in all the other information, but after you plug in the address, the phone number, and then the information on location, landmarks, surrounding cities, and areas that you work with, and then directions. Plug in all that information. What I want to do is go to the text editor, and then copy and paste that code from the Google My Business embed map. Copy that code in there, and that should copy and paste your map into your web page, which it does. And that will be all you need to do for this. The final thing, if you want to add the form to your page on WordPress, is you have to use a plugin, which we prefer the plugin Contact Form 7, the number 7. And it will be located here called Forms. And in the forms, there's plenty of forms here, but in any of these forms, you plug in the information that you want to get. So it's usually just first name, last name, phone number, email, and message. what you want to see, and then there's different settings to connect it to your email. To embed the form onto your pages, you want to go to help. Different plugins have different help centers, and just look at embedding a form. For these, this is gravity forms. You just copy and paste whichever shortcode that you want. And for each form, there's a specific ID. So whichever ID that you want, you just look at number 7. It's a contact form. And you just copy and paste that code into here. Paste in that style. And change number 1 to number 7 if you wanted that form. That will plug in the form onto your page. And so that's kind of a walkthrough of how to plug it in on WordPress and what to plug it in on WordPress. You can change the layout and any additional settings or additional content information that you might want. But that is primarily all you need to know for creating and formulating a contact page on WordPress, as well as Squarespace. I hope it's been helpful. Thanks for watching.